Dahlia's full kit just leaked. Skirk one-shot a boss in early showcase footage, and the 5.7 update might be hiding something massive. Today we're going over everything. Dahlia's full kit, his talents, passives, and materials. And of course, Skirk's combat showcases that just dropped. So let's kick things off with Dahlia's base stats. Dahlia at level 90 has a rocking 12,506 HP, 189 base attack, and 560 defense. His bonus stat is HP percent, sitting at a solid 24.2%. So yeah, from the jump, it's pretty clear he's meant to scale off HP, which makes sense with the way his shield and buffs work later in the kit. So with those stats in mind, you can already tell what kind of role he's built for. Now let's shift into Dahlia's basic moveset, because that's where everything begins. His normal attack is your standard sword combo, hitting up to 4 times in a row. When you hold for a charged attack, he dashes forward with 2 sharp slashes, using up some stamina and his plunging attack, leaping from mid-air to strike enemies below and deal AoE damage. Nothing flashy, just clean and quick. It's pretty much what all characters usually have. Now let's talk about his elemental skill. This one's called Immersive Ordnance. If you tap the skill, Dahlia performs a short prayer and drops a misty trace right in front of him. But if you hold the button, he channels the prayer a bit longer and places the misty trace wherever you aim. Now here's the fun part. If an enemy touches the trace, it explodes and deals AoE hydro damage. But if one of your teammates runs into it instead, they get launched straight up into the air. It's one of those quirky mechanics that might seem weird at first, but it could lead to some creative plays once people start experimenting with it. Alright, now let's get into Dahlia's burst, Radiant Salter. This is where his kit really starts to shine, and this one actually has some sauce. When you activate it, Dahlia goes into full prayer mode, unleashing AoE hydro damage and slapping a shield onto your active character. But this isn't just some basic bubble. It scales off his max HP and comes with 250% boosted resistance against hydro attacks. Yeah, tanky stuff. Now, here's the twist. This shield isn't a one-time deal. While the effect is active, if the shield breaks or runs out, Dahlia can bring it right back. No need to recast the burst. He just needs to consume a stack of this special charge effect he generates. And how do you get those stacks? 2 ways. Either land 4 normal attacks while your character has the buff on, or trigger it through his first talent once it's unlocked. You can hold up to 5 of these stacks per activation, so there's a lot of room to keep that shield cycling if you're playing smart and staying aggressive. Alright, now let's talk about Dahlia's passive talents. And honestly, they add more value than you'd expect. First up, this one's for all the freeze lovers out there. If your active character is under Dahlia's burst effect and triggers Frozen, you instantly get 2 shield refresh stacks. It's capped at once every 8 seconds. But in a freeze comp, that's basically free utility running in the background. Now his second passive. While your character is riding the effects of his burst, they get an attack speed boost, and it scales with Dahlia's HP. For every 1,000 HP he's stacked up, your character gets 0.4% more attack speed, and it can go up to 15% total. So, if you're building him right, you're basically turning your main DPS into a blur. And then there's the third passive. It's not game-changing, but it's a cool little bonus. From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. in-game time, your whole squad moves 10% faster. Doesn't work in Abyss or Domains, sure, but when you're farming or just exploring the overworld, that extra movement speed actually feels pretty nice. Now let's break down Dahlia's constellations, because these actually get better the deeper you go. His first one is all about keeping his energy topped up. Every time you gain a stack through his elemental burst, Dahlia gets 2 energy back. Doesn't sound wild at first, but when you're using him actively, that energy refund really stacks up and helps him rotate his burst more consistently. His second constellation buffs his shield utility big time. After he consumes a stack to summon a new shield, the character who's protected by it gets a 25% boost to shield strength for 12 seconds. It's clean, reliable, and works great with brawler-style characters who stay on field and take hits. His fourth constellation is about uptime. You get 3 extra seconds on the burst's buff duration, which doesn't sound like much, but it actually gives you just enough time to squeeze in a full attack rotation, or another stack or 2. And now, C6. Oh man, this one is wild. The active character under Dahlia's effect gets a 10% attack speed buff. Already nice. But wait, it gets better. If that character gets knocked out, they instantly revive and fully healed. That's literally a second chance for your DPS. It's like a built-in cheat death, and it only takes 15 minutes to refresh. That alone makes C6 a straight-up lifesaver in high-risk fights. Absolute banger of a constellation. So yeah, While Dahlia's constellations might not scream overpowered at first glance, they genuinely round him out in a super clean way. Each one adds a layer of utility or survivability that just makes him feel smoother, smarter, and more valuable the longer you invest into him. Now, if you're planning to level him up, here's everything you'll need for his ascension. And yeah, it's a loaded checklist. You'll need over 7 million Mora and 419 Heroes Wit to max his level. His local specialty? 168 Kala lilies from around Mondstadt. For Ascension, it's your usual Hydro setup. Varanata lazurite crystals in all grades, plus 46 airflow accumulators from that new flying boss. Talents, go grab ballad books, arrowheads from hilichurls, and eroded scale feathers from the weekly boss. And if you want to triple crown him, you'll need 3 crowns of insight. I've got the full list up on screen. Pause if you need to screenshot it. Otherwise, just know it's a grind. All right. Now let's shift gears and talk about Skirk. Because yes, we finally have her damage showcase, and it's got the whole community fired up. There's a couple of different clips floating around right now. In one of them, she's going all out against what looks like an infinite HP enemy. So yeah, it's clearly meant as a raw damage test. And she's just slicing nonstop, really showing off her full kit with no pressure. It's flashy, aggressive, and kind of hypnotic watching her just go to work without stopping. Then there's another showcase, this time against the gluttonous Yumkasaur, that huge Mountain King boss. And honestly, she goes absolutely feral in that fight. The cryo slashes are flying, the burst animation hits hard, and you can tell her pacing ramps up the longer she stays active. The way she dashes in and out while chaining attacks, it's clean. What's really fun is how different both showcases feel. One is this raw test chamber style breakdown, and the other is a real combat scenario where you can see her kit being applied in an actual boss battle. It gives a much better idea of how she might feel to play when the stakes are high. And just from watching the footage, she's looking like the kind of cryo DPS that's not just about numbers. It's about flow, movement, and that high-speed playstyle that rewards staying locked in. Can't wait to get hands-on with her full build. But here's the big leak. At first, it was leaked that Dainsleif, the ex-Cainrion royal guard who's been investigating the Abyss since the beginning, is also appearing in Chapter 5, Act 6, titled Traveler. And Dainsleif? His party icon was just spotted in the files, which usually happens when a character is being prepared to join the party during the quest, at least temporarily. That's not confirmation he's playable, yet, but it strongly suggests that we might finally be able to team up with him in the new Archon quest arriving in 5.7. Skirk, until now, was mostly a mystery. All we knew was that she trained Tartaglia in the Abyss, and that she's absurdly powerful. Now she's front and center with her own full kit, animations, and a combat style that feels unlike anything else. Skirk's role in the story quest isn't officially tied to that chapter, though she's clearly central to the patch. And since Act 6 wraps up the Natlan storyline, it makes sense they're bringing heavyweights like Dainsleif back into focus. So the fact that both of these characters, who are deeply connected to the Abyss, are arriving in the same storyline patch, it basically screams that something massive is about to go down. Whether they meet, clash, or reveal something big, we're definitely heading into uncharted territory. That's pretty much everything we know right now. Whether you're planning to build Dahlia from day one, waiting to test out Skirk's crazy playstyle, or waiting for Dainsleif to become playable, 5.7 is looking stacked. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love hearing what you all think, and I'll meet you in the next one.